Transform Talks tackles a range of global issues, but today it feels as if the world has rather come to us. Surrounded as we are by pictures from the annual Next Image Awards, a competition derived from Huawei's Ximage tech. There were more than 250,000 entries, and that means a vast array of individual, very personal stories being told. But whatever emotion each one evokes, what do they collectively tell us? Well, I'll be honest, I've absolutely no idea. But luckily, alongside me is someone who does know such matters. Dr. Nicole Fernandez is a visual sociologist and had the daunting task of trying to analyse all these images. Nicole, I have to ask the obvious first question, what is a visual sociologist?
So a visual sociologist does many things, but they either look at images that already exist in the world, or they use images in their research to create larger knowledge about the world.
So what was the larger knowledge you got from these images? What did they reveal to you, and did that surprise you?
There was so many images that they could say so many things, and each image does say something very different. But overall, I think the thing that shocked me the most, or the thing I took away from the most, was how varied people thought a good image was. So we had all of these beautiful images that you see behind us submitted, and moments of everyday life that seemed really banal to you and me, but to the person submitting it was the most meaningful photo that they had. So they submitted it. So that what people determined to be a good photo was incredibly varied.
And quite interesting disparities between images of women, images of men, and how that broke down.
Yes, yeah. So there were overall just about as many images of women and men in general, but when you looked at age, the number of women, young women, almost, I think, more than doubled the images of young men. So that tells us a lot about how we as a society tend to value women for their youth and their beauty and their appearance. But I do very much argue that these images of young women should not be devalued and not be discredited. They are, a lot of them are images that women have taken of themselves, and to devalue them is just the same as devaluing women for their appearance. So.
And do you think the development of digital photography is changing how we perceive images? Is it kind of democratizing expertise to a degree?
Yeah, it's changing who can take a good photograph, or I guess a conventionally good photograph. It's making technology that only professional cameras had now to everybody. So that is, I guess, democratizing the technology, but I think what we need to also look at is how people use the technology. So the technology does impact how we take photographs, but we also use the technologies in unexpected ways, and we take photographs in ways that were unintended. So we are, in a sense, part of the democratization.
They say that, I must finish with not a quote, but a sort of suggestion, I guess. Familiar phrase is that the pen is mightier than the sword. Is actually the digital image now mightier than the pen? Is it the thing that everyone is reaching to and going to convey their emotion and to convey a belief even?
I would definitely say that is true. We live in a world that many theorists have said is dominated by the visual. So the visual is our most dominant sense, and visual communication has surpassed any other form of communication. So the image has now become more powerful than the written word. And the fear in that, or the danger of that, is that images are not reality. Images are representations. They're someone's construction. They're someone constructed this image, and they have aims. They're not truthful. And when we, as a society, see images as the truth, or conflate seeing with knowing, we oftentimes get the wrong idea because images aren't true. And so I think as a society we do need to separate this idea that an image is an actual fact and is a truth.
And I suppose it's always been the case. It's more overt now. It's clearer that some of these are constructed and artistic and all the rest of it in a way that couldn't be done before.
I think it's becoming more obvious that our images are constructions, in the same way that a painting is a construction, a representation. It's becoming more obvious. So as a society, we do need to start thinking about the ways in which we use images in order, and what aims we're trying to get out of the images that we have.
Nicole, thanks very much.